Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Trouble Plays YouTube channel. Today is Tuesday. It is March 4th, and I'm back with some college basketball picks and props for you guys on a Tuesday night. Got a big slate of games tonight. Only two games we're going to be looking at, and we're going to talk about some bubble teams tonight and the top team in the country. So, lots to talk about tonight on Tuesday night. Before we get into that, let's talk about the games we have on Monday. It is halftime of the Wake Forest game between Duke. It is 40-27. Duke had 0 points in the first 5 minutes, and now they have 20. So this is I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble is what this really is. They're up by 13 points. They didn't play well in the first half, but honestly, Wake Forest played even worse on the offensive side. They played decent, I think, on the defensive side. Duke just started making some threes, and they've had some fast break opportunities. But we need to see Wake Forest at least shoot 38%. I think they're shooting 23% right now. So this is a brutally bad offensive performance for the Demon Deacons in this one. It's not their fault. Duke's the best defense in the country. I just thought maybe Wake Forest would stop them once or twice, and they did in the first 5 minutes. They just have not done it in the last 15. I will say Wake Forest did make adjustments in the first game. They beat them in the second half straight up. So, anything can happen. We still have 7 points to work with. Not going to get too ahead of myself on that one. Hunter Styles, 6 points at the half. Have the under 16.5. He shot, I think, the first 5 for the Demon Deacons, and he missed them all. So he's got 6 points. I'd love 10. I'd love him to get 10 points and go under 16.5 because I think we're going to need the scoring in the second half. Kansas, plus 9.5 tonight going up against Houston. And I had never found KJ Adams. Maybe the Self's bringing him off the bench in this one. But I never saw his player props. Saw Mayo, saw Harris, saw Dickinson. I never saw KJ. So if you did take it, let me know. I'll take it as my bet. I honestly think KJ is going to be the best player tonight. So we'll see what happens in that game. I am recording before it because I want to watch it. So only the halftime of that Wake Forest game, so nothing to report on too much for the games on Monday night. Hopefully we can have a pretty good day. We need Wake Forest to come out in the second half and, cut it to 10 in the first 4 and see what can happen in the final 4. Hopefully Duke doesn't run out the score. But let's go take a look at the plays for Tuesday. We're going to be talking about the best team in the nation, Auburn, going up against Texas A&M. I honestly don't even think it matters. Auburn going on the road in the SEC. SEC clearly the best conference in college basketball this season. We'll see what happens in March Madness because a lot of these teams play differently in March Madness. It's a lot more physical. I think that actually does it help the big. I mean, it helps all these conferences really, but SEC I feel like they're pretty physical to begin with. Big 10 physical, Big 12 not so much. But we'll see how they play in the March Madness tournament. But this is my opinion the best conference in basketball. I think a lot of people think that Auburn is the clear-cut number 1 team in the country as well. They're coming off of a win going up against Kentucky. They beat them by 16 points. That was on the road. They put up 94 points. Putting up 94 points on Kentucky is really not that hard, but they did it without Broome, which is very impressive. I think he only had like 7 or 8 points in the game, and that's the best player in college basketball unless you want to talk about Cooper Flagg. But that's really the front runner right now for Player of the Year. For A&M, 41.8% shooting on the season as a team. That is unacceptable. There is no way in hell you can back A&M with 6 points even at home because they're shooting 41.8% of the season. That's one of the worst percentages of any team in the nation this season. Auburn shooting close to 50%. Auburn's got a great defense. Auburn has a great offense as well. Probably the best team, I'd say, on both sides of the ball this season besides Duke defensively. I think it's going to be a blowout. Auburn has shown me that they can go on the road and blow out teams in the SEC. I'm going to back them one more time. A&M's also a 4-game losing streak. They're in shambles right now. They can't score. They can't defend. I'm taking Auburn. -6 as the first play of the day. Second play, this is going to be a bubble team. Arkansas going up against Vanderbilt. I am telling you to take Arkansas, and you guys know all season long, I have been the number 1 backer of Vanderbilt at home this season. Looking at the number for Vanderbilt at home, you should honestly try to lay the points here, but because of March Madness, because Arkansas is on the first 4 in, the last team on the first 4 in, so they will not make it right now because we will have upsets in conference tournament. It happens every single year. I'm telling you to take Arkansas, and I think they win this game outright. I'll take the points plus 6.5, but let me just share the stats for Vanderbilt at home this season in conference play. 1 loss to Mississippi State. They beat South Carolina straight up. They beat Tennessee straight up. They beat Kentucky straight up. They beat Texas straight up. They lost to Auburn by 12, but that was a 2 or 3 point game with 5 minutes left. They beat Ole Miss straight up, and they're coming off a win against Missouri, beating them straight up at home. Tyler Nickel, what can you do for me? Hits the 3 to send us overtime, and then Vanderbilt dominates them in overtime, really, to win that game in overtime. So I love Vanderbilt. They're very good at home. They're a very good team. We'll see if they can make some noise in March Madness. Take Arkansas. They're fighting for their lives here. They have to win this game. Vanderbilt's already in. They're projected 8 seed. If they lose this game, if they lose against Georgia, they are still going to be in the March Madness tournament regardless of how they play in conference play. Arkansas needs this game desperately. I'm taking them with the points, plus 6.5 as the play. Speaking of Arkansas, they need this man to step up. Janelle Davis, over his total points. He's been all over the place for his college basketball career. He's coming off a game against South Carolina, shot 9 times, only 7 points, but he's been a double-digit scoring machine since January 25th. He scored 10-plus points in every game but 2 since the back end of January, and he's had 14, 18, and 14 in the 3 games prior to South Carolina. He is one of the best players coming off of the screen. I don't know, Calipari does this, or he does this, or he does this. It's the same play with Arkansas. It's DJ Wagner dribbling it up. It's DJ Wagner waiting up top for the big man. I think he's Russian. What's his name? It's the 7-foot white guy. I don't forget his Ivic. Doesn't matter. He comes off the screen. It's either Davis on the right side or Davis on the left side. It's a mid-range jumper. He can drive to the hole. That's the offense that Arkansas typically runs, especially if they need a go-get-it play, like a bucket play. This is the guy who needs to step up. Vanderbilt defensively is not a good team this season, 220th in the country. They are better at home on their home floor, but I think Davis is a guy who has to step up for Arkansas. There's a reason they recruited him. It was to make big shots in big moments. This is the game Arkansas needs. I'll take him over the total points as the first play. Second play, another team on the bubble. And you guys know Trey Johnson, he's been on the bench. He has been called to active duty over the last 3 or 4 games because he has been dominating against some of these SEC teams. Coming off his worst performance over the last 2 or 3 months, though, 12 points going up against Georgia. Previous game against Arkansas, 39 points, 29 points against South Carolina, 32 points against Kentucky. This is one of the best scorers in college basketball. I would say the best scorer in college basketball, getting his own shot, and he's just went all the way up on the draft, mock drafts. He's like number 3 right now, right behind Dylan Harper. So he has shot himself up into the NBA prospects list. He was already pretty high up there, but over the last several games, he's been playing like an NBA player. Nobody can stop him. Georgia, in that game, only 7 shots. Don't know what happened. I didn't watch the game, but over the last several, he shot 20-plus times. So I think that will change in this one. Texas in the same kind of bubble as Arkansas. They're actually, I think, the next 4 out. So they desperately need to win this game against Mississippi State as well. Trey Johnson is the answer to that. Give me the over total points. 18.5, 19.5 is what I'm thinking of. Also, Mississippi State, everybody talks about them being a good defense. They're almost 200th in the country, so obviously they're not that good of a defense. I'm taking Trey Johnson in this one over the total points as the final play of the night. Let's go to that recap graphic. Auburn, -6 of the best team. You know, people were joking about, should I take Auburn and Duke or take the field in March Madness? I think you should take Auburn and Duke. I don't see anybody beating Auburn unless they get a crazy matchup and something happens, unless like 2 or 3 players get hurt. I don't see anybody beating Auburn. They're playing the best basketball going into March Madness, and they're just a wagon. I'll take them -6. Arkansas with the points. I love Vanderbilt. I love Vanderbilt at home. Arkansas needs this game. It's win and probably in for March Madness. So, well, it's win the last game, win a game in conference play, and in. So I think they need this game more than anything. It would be a quad 1 win for them. Janelle Davis over his total points going up against Vandy. They need him to step up, and then Trey Johnson over his total points going up against Mississippi State as the final play of the day. Guys, it's going to do it. Wake Forest 32-40, 5-0 run to start. That's what we like to see. That's going to do it for the NCAA basketball picks and props for Tuesday, March 4th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.